Hello, my name's Charlotte Goodwin and welcome to Author's Question Time. So today's question is, are my characters based on real people? The simple answer is yes. All my characters have characteristics from real people that I've met and come across. So yeah, I want to talk about three of my characters in my series. I've got a lot of characters and I just want to chat about three. The three I'm going to talk about are Tom, Emma and Mark. All three characters are secondary characters in the Offspring trilogy, which is the first one I'm going to release, but they do exist throughout the whole of the Gallantrian Legacy. So first of all, let's talk about Tom. At the start of the series, Tom is on Earth. He's a regular army officer in the Royal Engineers, and he is in his early 30s, and he's just married to Emma. Then his life gets turned on its head, and he goes to Gemini, which is a magical planet. So Tom, he is based on pretty much most regular army officers I've met. He's had a middle class background. He's very typical. He's your quintessential British army officer. And then he goes on a journey where he finds he has to learn magic and he has to support his wife and he has to do an awful lot of things that he thought he never would. So he grows as a character, which I suppose we all do. I've certainly grown as a character. So I suppose there's a little bit of me there in that. Certainly, I'm a lot different to who I was when I was in my early 20s and even when I was in my early 30s. So that's Tom. And then if we talk about Emma, so Emma's interesting as well. So Emma is me, me minus the bits of me that I don't really like, and with some of the bits I wish I had. So I suppose that's Emma to an extent. And I think one of the most prominent things about her is her sheer determination to succeed, to get to the end, to do what she knows needs to be done in order to succeed, in order to save her people. I mean, obviously, I've never had a people to save, but I do have a sheer amount of guts and determination that I always want to um, utilize to the max, which is what's in part driven me to write all of my novels. So that's Emma. And then there's Mark. So Mark actually appears in the second book of the Homecoming trilogy. So he's in 5 out of the 6. And Mark is another British Army officer, and he comes to the story a little bit later, so he's a little bit more mature in his rank when he first appears. But Mark had a less privileged background than Tom. He grew up on a rough estate. His father was absent. He's got lots of siblings that have got different fathers to himself. And he's had a tough time. He joined the army at 16 and he commissioned from the ranks. And he's always been driven by this innate desire to achieve his potential, to be the best that he can be. I would say probably once he joined the army, it was probably the case. Not so much before. The army was the making of him. But he's very driven. And because he puts in that extra, it makes him better than everybody else. Because he thinks he needs to work harder than everyone else to be as good as them. Whereas in reality, because he works harder, it makes him better. So that's Mark. He's very sort of rough, but he's very direct. And I suppose there's a lot of characteristics of myself in him as well, and certainly reflective of my own personal upbringing, which was certainly similar to Mark's and it was to Tom's. So if I was going to sort of summarize my three characters, Emma is who I want to be, Tom is who I'd want to be with, and Mark is, if I was going to have an affair, the person I'd want to have an affair with on the side, but I don't think is quite the person I want to stay with. So yeah, those are three of my characters that I've talked through. If you want to find out more about my characters, my books, or anything else, please check out my website. It's charlottegoodwin.co.uk. Thanks for listening. Bye.